addressing the prompts, oftentimes feels like students just don't understand that the supplemental essay sometimes is more important than the personal statement, and the ability to be more specific and really dive deeper into sort of the personality of the school. It just felt like a missed opportunity to really dive a lot deeper and take advantage of the question being asked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say if I were imagining myself presenting this student in committee, trying to sell them, I'd have the toughest time. A top math student from TJ applying to Yale. What makes you think if they're admitted here that they would choose to come here over MIT, Stanford, Harvard, Princeton if they were admitted there? And if I showed the why Yale, they wouldn't buy it. And I think this is a lesson for our students here that if you're applying, I think, really to the top 10 to 15 schools, in every application, you have to make the reader feel as though this school is your top choice, even if it isn't, right? And so if you're applying to Yale in the RD round, and especially if you're a top student, an admissions officer is going to know that you're going to probably have a lot of great college offers at lots of different places. And they have a limited number of spots that they can use to offer to a student. And for this why Yale, is to Zach's point, is you could write this for just about any school. They mention a course of interest. They have some nice comments. They probably browse the Yale website. They don't mention residential colleges, which is the number one thing that Yale thinks is unique about it. Even if you don't think that's unique, Yale thinks that's unique about it, right? So that's something that should jump out at you from their website. And this gives me the impression, if I were to be critical in the admissions committee, that this is a student who is applying to all the top schools and has put in an application to Yale to see what happens. And if I'm a Yale committee member and we're trying to make those really tough choices between top students, can we afford to use a spot on a student who's hasn't researched Yale that closely, and if admitted elsewhere to other top schools, which they probably would just go there instead? So if we're thinking about, that's the candid conversation that would take place. So, and it shows that even those short supplementary questions at the end, those can be the separators. Because when we're looking at these competitive applicants, all of them are going to have strong activity lists, usually pretty good at personal statement. You're not going to necessarily win admission on the activity list or the personal statement, but it's really with everything. You have to hit all those marks as you go. So when you start to fall short in those questions at the end, the supplementary questions, at least in the most competitive schools, that's where it can make a difference in the sense of everything mattering.